Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to today's class. So today we are talking all things client engagement. My name is Abigail, and I am the co-founder of That Clean Life. And I also have here with me today, Brittany from Practice Better. Brittany, do you want to say hello?
Yeah, hi everyone. So excited to get into today's topic. It's one that really excites me. So looking forward to this one.
Amazing. Okay, I'm going to open up the chat box just so I can see what everybody is saying. I would love to get this party started right off the bat. We always love to start our classes by having you pop into the chat, say hello, let us know who you are and where you are tuning in from. Before you do that, just make sure you change it to all panelists and attendees. Or actually, it should say everyone there. If you change that to everybody, then everybody can see what you're saying and we can all chat back and forth together. So if you're here, open up that chat and say hello. Okay, so please don't be shy. Let's get this party started. And while you are all saying hello there in the chat box, let me tell you about what you can expect out of today's class. So as I already mentioned, today's class is all about client engagement. We're going to start off by talking about what client engagement is and why it matters. Then we are going to get into client engagement strategies. So having a client engagement strategy in place is a must if you want to grow your business. And we're going to cover the tactics you need to implement a client engagement strategy today. And finally, we are going to talk about the engagement tools available to everybody within That Clean Life and Practice Better. So I do see that the chat is disabled. That's my fault. I didn't turn the settings, but everybody, you can talk back and forth in the Q&A box. And we are happy to answer your questions or receive any comments there. Okay, so stay with us till the end because we will be announcing two very special bonus offers that will help you take everything that you learned today and take your business to all new heights. So we'd love to get a better sense of the tools you are currently using in your nutrition practice. So open up the Q&A box. And if you're a member of That Clean Life, I want you to type That Clean Life in there. And if you're a member of Practice Better, I want you to type Practice Better into the Q&A box. And then maybe you're a member of both. And if that's you, type both. Okay, I see Practice Better, both, Practice Better, That Clean Life, both. Okay, amazing. We've got lots of both in here, which is awesome. Okay, I see That Clean Life. Amazing. So we've got a good mix. And if you are a member of both That Clean Life and Practice Better, you probably understand why we have teamed up to offer this class today. So we are two separate software companies, but we're on really similar missions to empower health professionals with the tools they need to run a successful and a profitable business, save time, make more money, and most importantly, make our world a healthier place. So That Clean Life makes building beautiful nutrition plans for your clients easy. And then Practice Better makes client management easy. And used together, That Clean Life and Practice Better can give you serious superpowers. And that is why we've teamed up for today's class on client engagement, because we really believe that having an efficient client engagement strategy can transform your business. So now we'd love for you to open up that Q&A box again and answer this question with a simple yes or no. So yes or no, do you currently have a client engagement strategy in place? So open up the Q&A box and let us know, yes or no. Okay, no. Okay.
Lots of no's.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of no's.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You're in the right place. I'm seeing some yes, not really. So that's quite common. Some of you might have having a client engagement strategy. And as we work through these strategies today, you might be like, oh yeah, I kind of do have a client engagement strategy in place. Okay. So whether you said yes, you do have a client engagement strategy in place, or no, you don't, we promise you're going to get a ton out of today's class either way. So our goal is that you will leave today's class with a new or maybe an improved client engagement strategy that will take your business to the next level. So we will be sharing highly effective client engagement tactics used by successful health professionals and showing you the exact tools they use to keep clients engaged. So first, we asked you to introduce yourself in the beginning. If you haven't done that yet, feel free to drop that into the Q&A box now. Say hello, let us know who you are and where you're tuning in from. And we'd love to introduce ourselves too, so you can get to know a bit about us. So my name is Abigail. I'm a registered nurse and I have 14 years of experience in the healthcare setting. So I've worked in long-term care. I've done some time in palliative care. I've done adult and pediatric rehab. I've done transplant, infectious diseases, a lot of work in pediatrics. And all of this to say, I know firsthand that engaging clients in their care plan can make a really big difference in whether or not they're successful. So in 2017, I shifted my focus to working directly with health professionals to grow their businesses and improve client outcomes by offering effective nutrition plans. And I've really had the pleasure of working with so many of you and practitioners around the world to start, to grow, and to even scale your businesses. And I'm really excited to share some of those insights with you today. And then, as I mentioned at the beginning, my co-host today is Brittany. So Brittany, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Abigail. Hi, everyone. So as Abigail said, my name is Brittany. I actually come from a completely different industry as well. So I was working in real estate for 12 years up until 2020. And really, client experience and client engagement was so pivotal in that role. I was often working with clients for a really long term. I worked with new construction with condo buildings that took 3 years to actually build. So you have to believe that I had to build that rapport and have that kind of good communication and engagement with clients throughout that duration of time, because obviously that's a very long period of time. So I learned very quickly what it means to engage a client in the right way and some mistakes to try and avoid. And I've been able to carry that in through the rest of my career. So in 2017, I shifted into holistic nutrition. And then into 2020, I joined Practice Better because there was such a strong alignment to the passion I felt towards client experience, client engagement, and how that led to so much success for myself with my nutrition clients. And the company has, a mission that we are very customer obsessed. We really love helping our practitioners, therefore go on to have amazing benefits and work with their clients. So such an alignment there. And here I am today, I'm talking to you about client engagement. So everything kind of comes full circle.
Amazing. So thank you for those introductions still rolling in the Q&A box. I see Chris Henry is here, Kathy's here, Donna, Connie, recognize Connie's name. I know you're a longtime member of That Clean Life. Thank you everybody for being here. We're using the Q&A box. So if you have any questions or comments along the way, feel free to pop those in there. So now that you know a little bit about myself and you've learned a bit about Brittany and our backgrounds, let's talk about why we're here today, client engagement. So what is client engagement? Client engagement is the process of interacting with clients through a variety of channels in order to strengthen your relationship. So in our opinion, client engagement is highly, highly underrated. So ensuring your clients are successful and engaged while they work with you is a really great way to grow your business. Client engagement strengthens relationships and builds trust. Engaged clients are more likely to stay on with you and working with you over a longer period of time. And then in turn, happy, successful clients will ultimately result in more word of mouth referrals for you. So when people are really happy with your services, they will tell all their friends about you. And on top of that, they will be more likely to come back to you when you announce additional services or you run a new program or a new challenge or something like that. So client engagement is super important. And I think Michelle Leota, who's a health coach and a business mentor that some of you might know, sums up the importance of client engagement really well here. And she says, it's easy to collect payment and feel like you're moving your business forward, but unless clients are engaging with you, they won't make progress. They won't get results. They're not going to become raving fans who refer all their friends. So signing a client is just the beginning. And then giving that client an amazing experience is the long game all practitioners also need to be playing. So studies have also shown that engaged clients buy 90% more frequently. They spend 60% more per transaction, and they are 5 times more loyal. So all in all, having a client engagement strategy not only results in more successful clients, but it can also have a big impact on the bottom line of your business too. So let's talk about your client engagement strategy. We believe that engaging your client begins from your very first interaction, and this is why client onboarding is so important. So why don't we start there? We chatted before this class with a few successful nutritionists to get some really good insights into what client engagement strategies work best during the onboarding process. And here's what we learned. So first, motivational interviewing. We won't go too much into this because motivational interviewing is like a whole day's class on its own, but it is a great form of communication to use when onboarding a client to really draw out their own meaning, importance, and capacity for change. I'm curious to know how many of you here today use motivational interviewing in your practice. Let us know in the Q&A box. Another key to engaging a client during onboarding is to establish expectations. So clients should understand what to expect and how working with you will look and feel. So paint a picture of that. And obviously, a big part of onboarding is onboarding a new client is your intake forms. So these are especially important when creating nutrition plans for clients, so you can understand the client's likes, their dislikes, their culture, and other needs that they might have. Okay, I see some people in the chat saying, yes, they use motivational interviewing. They use Connie's saying I do all of these things. So maybe some of you are realizing I do have a client engagement strategy. Amazing. Okay, so during onboarding, it's also really important to set clear goals and measures of success. So ensure you personalize your clients' resources, set them up with custom meal plans and recipe collections that match their needs when that's appropriate, and then always outline the next step. So after their initial session, remind your client of what they can expect to happen next. So we spoke to Ashley Sauvé, who's a certified holistic nutritionist and herbalist, and we asked her to share her top tips for client engagement because she has a really successful practice. So we wanted to learn from her. And she explained that her onboarding process is designed specifically to get clients excited and highly engaged in the work that they're going to be doing together. So Ashley highlighted that she does use motivational interviewing. She also works to establish expectations and outline clear measures of success. And these things really ensure her clients are engaged in the process of working with her from day one. Then after onboarding, your client engagement strategy should really ramp up. So onboarding is just the beginning. How do you keep your clients engaged beyond that? Because of course, they're all excited. You know, once you start working together, it's always exciting for the first few sessions, and then that kind of tends to taper off naturally. So how do you maintain that engagement? So keep clients engaged by checking in and staying in touch between appointments. This is a key thing that I learned while talking to a lot of practitioners about their client engagement strategies, is that they tend to over communicate and they're not afraid to be annoying or anything like that. So use a messaging system that makes communication for both you and your client really simple. And offer additional support when needed. So for example, if your client falls into a rut, or they're not inspired by their nutrition plan that you gave them, adjust it and send them an updated version or send them additional recipe inspiration. And then set micro goals and create tasks for the client to complete that will help them work toward the bigger goal. So this is health coach Julie Fisher. She told us she keeps clients engaged by setting goals at each session. So every session she does goal setting, and that the goals that she sets are achievable by the next session. So these are tiny 2-week goals. And she ensures that they're specific and action oriented. And she says that clients can, easily feel overwhelmed about all the changes they need to make. But when she breaks it down into one goal per session, it makes changes become a lot more manageable and clients stay engaged in the process for a longer period of time. Let me know in the Q&A box how many of you are using goal setting like this at every session, or how many of you are goal setting on your own onboarding session? So here's a quick recap of everything that I just went through. Open up the chat and let us know, do you currently use any of these strategies in your business? And if so, which ones? And did you pick up any new ideas that you might implement into your client engagement strategy? Did you get any tips so far? Let us know in that Q&A box. Okay, so Connie's saying yes, she uses goal setting. Diane also uses goal setting. Susan says she calls them action steps, which I love. I think Brittany's going to show us that in Practice Better, some of those tasks. Okay, great. So a lot of you do use a lot of these strategies. So that's amazing. Okay, now let's talk about client engagement tools. And Brittany, let's start with the client engagement tools that are available within Practice Better.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Practice Better, for those of you that are maybe coming from that clean life wanting to learn a little bit more, we are a practice management software. And really the goal with Practice Better is that you can run your business, you can keep everything in one place. So, you know, everything from the scheduling and the booking, invoicing, but what we really pride ourselves on, what we think helps us stand out in the industry is the number of features and tools that we have for you to engage with your clients. So we are a platform that was designed by a practitioner for practitioners. And with that in mind, we really understand kind of the pain points of working with clients or your kind of day-to-day work. So in our platform, we've very intentionally included lots of different ways that you can work with your clients. So no matter kind of what your designation is or how you really work with your clients, there's likely a way to do what Abigail was just saying, whether that's sharing personalized resources through supplement protocols, meal plans that you can link to that clean life, creating protocols, things like setting tasks and action items, little goals for your clients to achieve so they're not getting overwhelmed. We have all of these things in Practice Better and also designed in a way to make them really efficient for the practitioner. So ways to automate them, set them to reoccur, basically allow you to save as much time as you can without sacrificing that high touch point client engagement strategy that we're talking about today. So again, Abigail has said it so nicely, but our tools work so perfectly together, and she's going to share now a little bit about that clean life.
Amazing. Okay, so that's kind of client engagement inside of Practice Better, and that clean life will also play a big role in your client engagement strategy. So with that clean life, you can easily customize meal plans, recipe collections, and so much more for your clients. And you can even set clients up to do their own meal planning, which is a great way to keep them engaged and make them feel empowered and do that over the long term. So I wanted to also touch on how successful health professionals are using both Practice Better and that clean life to keep clients engaged, to increase their success and grow their business. So let's go back to Michelle Leota. She told us she loves using the task feature within Practice Better that allows her to create tasks for clients. And then using tasks, Michelle can set up reminders and notifications to keep her clients on track. And Brittany's going to walk us through that in a little bit. Michelle also uses that clean life to provide her clients with customized recipe books and meal plan suggestions based on their likes, their family size, and their individual needs. And then Ashley Sauvé uses the check-in forms within Practice Better. So kind of similar to Michelle, she finds that when she gets clients to fill out the check-in forms, it gives them an opportunity to celebrate their progress, to communicate roadblocks that they might be having, and ask questions or express concerns that she can then help them overcome. And I really loved this engagement strategy from Ashley, and it's kind of what I call the before and after. Now, before and after things get typically a bad rep, but this is a really neat way to do it. So what Ashley does is she pulls up her clients' intake forms within Practice Better, so what they filled out at the beginning, and she reads them to her clients in their own words, so they can see where they were at when they began their journey. And she finds this helps her clients appreciate really how far they have come. And it reminds them that the process is working and keeps them working towards their goals, because it sometimes can be a long process. And in terms of how Ashley uses that clean life, she's told us that she always encourages her clients to reach out if they feel stuck or if they're falling into a rut. So using that clean life, she can quickly put together a recipe collection to support the client with their changing needs. Because as we all know, clients' needs change over time, circumstances come up, they might have family members in the house. So sending them recipe collections really helps with that. Okay, we also mentioned staying in touch between appointments as a key client engagement strategy. And health coach Julie Fisher does this by using the messaging feature within Practice Better. So she checks in to ask them, her clients, how they're feeling about their goal for the week, what additional support they might need, and how she can help. And then she uses that clean life to hook clients up with recipe ideas between their sessions too, which really keeps them engaged and on track. I see Melanie saying she wants to start setting SMART goals. And Connie is also saying she likes the idea of sending a recipe in between meetings. Amazing. Okay. So now we have discussed some client engagement strategies. We've shown you how health professionals are implementing these things into their nutrition practices. So what we would love to do next is take you right into Practice Better and then right into that clean life to show you how this all works and how we can bring a client engagement strategy to life. So I'm going to turn it back over to Brittany so she can take you right into Practice Better to start.
All right, yeah. So we've outlined already some really great strategies, and we want to show you what they look like in practice. So a lot of what Abigail has mentioned and a lot of what our mutual users have shared, we're going to show you. Oftentimes, the first kind of touch point that you're having with a client is maybe a discovery call. So maybe that's their first introduction into your business. And that's exactly where we want to start engaging with clients in the right way. So one thing that I want to share is within Practice Better, you can create a note template. Oftentimes when you're on a call with your client, you're going to be taking notes or charting. So we can come up with these templates to help save ourselves time as we go forward. And why not kind of create this framework for discovery calls so that you're asking the right questions to set the tone to support these clients and engage them in the right way right from the very beginning. So this framework that I have here for this template, I'm just getting a little bit of their information. It's going to pull right from the client record. And then I'm getting, so that's these little placeholders here. Then we can get into some of that motivational interviewing like Abigail mentioned, and like some of our users are actually implementing successfully into their practice. So we can get into some of the health history and the goals of the client, but we can also start to talk about what their goals are and what those goals mean to them, why they want to achieve them, and what they're willing to commit in order to achieve these goals. So getting into some of that motivational interviewing so that you have something as a practitioner, some information to better support them. You can ask some very simple yes or no questions about booking, objections for follow-up, and come up with a follow-up plan. So right away, we have that consistency so that every client that you introduce into your business is going to kind of go through that same process so that you know how to engage them if they decide to move forward with you. And even if they don't, you have kind of some information to work off of. And all of that completed note is going to live in the client record where, like Ashley Sauvé is doing, you can kind of come back to that information and actually read it back to the client so that they can gauge their own progress. As a practitioner, you can gauge progress, things of that nature. And onboarding is especially important. So again, right from that first opportunity of when someone is converting to an actual paying client of yours, we want to start setting expectations so that they know exactly what to expect from you as a practitioner, how you work, what your method is, and what they need to actually be doing in order to be successful with you. So this is a mutual relationship, right? As much as we want to work in a certain way, we need our clients to be acting a certain way too. And we can't leave it for them to guess exactly how we want them to, communicate and work with us. So this client onboarding program, I love. You might be familiar with the program's feature within Practice Better. This is kind of an outside the box way of using it. So instead of doing a challenge or a long-term program, I'm actually going to take this program and attach it to all the packages that I'm selling. and engage my clients right from the very beginning. So maybe that's a really personalized touch point of a video that I'm embedding into the program where I can say hello. I can attach some PDFs like appointment timelines, package details for them to come back and reference. I can also include a module that's going to give them all the tools about how to be successful on the platform. So given that your clients will have their login that they can access through their smartphone or their computer, there's a learning curve to using tech. And we don't want clients to feel immediate frustration that they can't figure these out, and then we've lost them immediately. So let's set them up for success with these tools of engaging the platform in the right way too. So any information that you want them to know and you want to deliver that right off the bat, you can house that in a program, attach it to the package, and they'll be automatically enrolled in that. So you don't have to do the manual process of, manually enrolling everybody, and they're going to have immediate access to that information and come back to it at any time. And then, of course, Abigail mentioned intake questionnaires, intake forms. This is something that you're likely doing, but getting really granular with those questions is going to really set you up for success to engage clients in the right way. Asking questions about their dietary preferences, about their unique needs, their goals, is all going to help you kind of get into the psychology. We know that as practitioners, there's a lot of that involved in coaching our clients, and just set you up for success because everyone will have individual needs. So Practice Better does have templates that you can work off of and then customize. So if there are specific questions that suit your specialty or your niche, or you're working with a very distinct cultural group, you're working with male or female, whatever it looks like, you can really tailor the form to get exactly the information that you need from the client to engage with them. Again, in the right way, we need to inform ourselves as a practitioner. You can then take those key pieces of information from a completed form and have them sent over into the client record. And then you can reference those very easily. So if Ashley Sauvé is kind of, like she said, kind of bringing up key points within the intake form, she could actually have those mapped into the client record and pull them into a note she shares with her clients automatically. So lots of ways to take this intake form and let it work for you for the entire kind of client progress and their entire journey working with you. So that's kind of how you can kick things off with the Practice Better platform to engage with clients when they're first being introduced into your business. So Abigail's now going to show us that Clean Life and how you can really use that to engage with your clients as well.
Before I just turn it over, Brittany, can you just remind us where we see templates? We have a question about that.
Definitely. There's a few places that they live in the platform. So if you're looking for a note template, you can find them under My Practice, and similarly with protocol templates. If you're looking for a form template, you can access those through the Red Fast Action button. And you'll see that you can pull up lots of these different templates and further customize them to your needs.
Amazing. And I see there that you have our meal planning assessment form. So you see that Clean Life with our little icon there. So we actually shared that. We created a meal planning assessment form that helps you collect all that data you'll need before you dive into creating a meal plan. And that is available within Practice Better. So you can send that to your client. It's all ready to go, as Brittany's showing here, all ready to fill out. Which will save you a ton of time. So if you're doing meal planning or even providing clients with recipes and you want to kind of understand their likes and dislikes, definitely check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
And let us know in the Q&A box too. Are you currently using that, or did you just discover it? I'd love to know. Okay, so I would love to take you into that Clean Life now. 1 second here. All right. How's that looking from your end, Brittany?
Looks good. Looks ready to go.
Okay, amazing. So welcome to that Clean Life. We were just in Practice Better, kind of showing you how you would set up your client onboarding and all those templates and stuff. So let's say you've done your assessment, you've collected your initial data on your client, you have everything you need, and you're ready to start setting them up with their nutrition plans. So for those of you who aren't really familiar with that Clean Life is a nutrition planning tool for health professionals. We help you do a wide variety of things. We can help you create meal plans. We can help put together recipe collections if you have a client who might not be into a meal plan. And as I mentioned, we can also help you set clients up to do their own meal planning if you want like a more hands-off approach. And our members use That Clean Life or so many ways. They use That Clean Life to help support clients one-on-one, to create content for their group programs. We have a lot of members doing subscription services to create that recurring revenue. So options there are really endless. But for today, let's focus on client engagement, and let's start with personalizing a meal plan based on that assessment data. So let's say you use that meal planning assessment form within Practice Better. Where do you go from there? Okay, so I am going to head into our recipe gallery. So our recipe gallery, we add new recipes to this gallery every week. So it's kind of constantly growing. You'll see we have close to 4,000 recipes now. Now, let's say your client has a lot of food allergies and intolerances. Let's say they're gluten-free, egg-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. And you might be thinking, no way, I can never accommodate a meal plan for all this. This is nuts. But I want to show you how easy it is within That Clean Life. So you arrive in That Clean Life, you click filter. All you need to do is hit gluten-free. You can type in egg-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So there you've got all their allergies. And let's say this client, let's call her Maria, has also told you she really dislikes kale. So you're going to say, I don't want to see any recipes with kale. So I'm going to exclude all kale ingredients, so baby kale and kale leaves. And let's add another layer of complexity on top of this. And let's say Maria is a busy mom. She's got 3 kids at home. They're always running around. So she's telling you, I don't have time to cook. And you want to prove to her that she can. So let's scale this down and say, I only want to see recipes that are 30 minutes or less. So this is how easy it is to quickly find the perfect recipes for your clients and either build a recipe collection from that or make them a meal plan from that. And then if you want to get really nitty gritty, we also have nutrition filters that allow you to search for meals based on calories, things like sugar content, protein, vitamins, minerals, all that good stuff. So I'm going to switch back to that. There's my filters. I'm going to click filter recipes. And bam, I have a ton of solutions that are going to match Maria's needs. And another cool thing is you can save it. So you can hit bookmark and create a bookmark so that if you're meal planning for Maria over a long period of time, you can save that and come back to it and quickly apply those filters without having to type it all in again. Okay, so now you've got a ton of ideas for Maria. So where do you go from here? I'm going to start building her a meal plan, and I can even say breakfast. So I only see breakfast and start meal planning her breakfast. Now, when you click into any recipe, you're going to see the name, the time, the ingredients, directions, notes. All of our recipes can be scaled up or down. So by default, this recipe serves 4, but let's say Maria wants to feed her whole family and you want to create 8 servings one day, so she has leftovers. So you can scale that up. And we also give you nutrition information on a per serving basis on every recipe too. So that's there for you. Now you can start adding meals to Maria's meal plan. So you can click add. You can do Maria's meal plan week 1, select breakfast, select the date, and add it to the meal plan. So you can manually add meals to the meal plan that way. But you can also automatically generate meal plans based on diet type too, which can save you time. So our automator, if you click new and click automator, let's say Maria's meal plan, week 1, you can choose if you want it to be a 7-day meal plan, a 5-day meal plan, and the types of meals you want. You can input the approximate calories and macro percentages you're looking for. And you can use tags too. So you can say, I want a gluten-free meal plan, dairy-free, soy-free, egg-free, and I want to exclude kale. Like I just said, she doesn't like kale. And then you can click create plan, and Automator will go to work and create you an automatically generated plan. So either way, like you can create meal plans for clients manually if you want more to go through with a fine tooth comb, or use Automator if you need just something quick and just a kind of more of a sample. So our Automator is working now. So you'll see here we get a meal plan that outlines breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinner. All of our meal plans account for leftovers. So you'll see here, dinner on Monday night is going to be eaten for leftovers on Tuesday, which will save your client a ton of time. And the really cool thing here too is that your grocery list is automatically generated. So if you click on list, you can see that the grocery list for this plan is put together for you and all itemized. Along the top of the meal plan, we always add up calories and macros for you totals, so you can keep that balanced according to your client's needs. And then when it comes time to share this meal plan with a client, you have two options. So you can share this share this meal plan by exporting it as a PDF document and then uploading it into Practice Better under your client's portal for them. Or you can click on share and turn on sharing and just grab this link and put that into Practice Better to share it with your client. So whether you'd rather they interact with a PDF or the link will bring them right into the software, it's up to you. And I'd love to show you how both look. So this is what the final PDF document looks like. It has your name or your logo, the name of the meal plan. The next page will have any notes or special instructions you want to add. So I added some grocery list tips, shopping tips to that second page here. Next page will be the meal plan at a glance. Next page will have nutrition info. Whether you include this, totally optional. So you can turn on or off nutrition information before sharing your plan with the client. Itemized grocery list, and then all the recipes. So this is how easy it is to create like a really nice looking meal plan really quickly within that Clean Life. And then the other option I talked about was using sharing, right? So you can click on share and grab this link. So when I open this link, here's how that looks. This will bring your client right into that Clean Life so they can see their meal plan kind of the same way you see it. They can interact, they can make changes. So if you turn on editing, they can make swaps, which is really nice. And gives them more control over their meal plan. And it also will probably save you a bit of time because you won't need to go back in and make those changes. And it's also great, even if your client comes back to you and says, hey, look, love the meal plan, don't like what you scheduled for breakfast. Then you can easily go in and update it. And you don't have to send them another PDF because this all updates in real time. So those are the two ways you can get a meal plan off to a client. We also have available to you templates, which are a wide variety of dietary needs and conditions, and you can filter these. So let's go back to that client, Maria, soy-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, what was the last one? Egg-free, and see what templates we have available there. So templates come up, and when you click into them, you'll see that each template has an overview. It has evidence, so it talks about why we, or the key nutrients that we focused on. It has a prep guide, which outlines to your client what to eat and what to prep every day. And you can also use search to search for templates as well. Like say you're looking for a low FODMAP template. You'll see here we have a low FODMAP diet and a plant-based low FODMAP diet. And then you can easily look at meal plans for that. This is going to save you a ton of time. If any of you are doing low FODMAP meal planning, you know how time consuming it can be. So we also have these done for you programs right available within that Clean Life. And again, you could either export it or share it and then pop that into Practice Better. Now, I know not all of you are into meal planning, not all clients want a meal plan. So another way you can use that Clean Life to keep clients engaged is to create them recipe books. So let's go with another example. Let's say you have a client named Anna. Anna is has rheumatoid arthritis and she wants autoimmune paleo recipes for dinner. So you could go into filters, say I'm looking for autoimmune recipes. I want dinners. And let's take it even further and say, I want these to be really simple one-pan dinners, and you can filter recipes that way. Now I could add the ones that I like to a collection. So one-pan AIP dinners for Anna, add the ones that I like. And when you go into collections, you'll see this collection here, one-pan AIP dinners for Anna. And you can either export a recipe collection as a PDF like I've done here. So it's similar to what I showed you with the meal plan, but it's just recipes. Or you can share that with your client through that link again, just by clicking on share. And then the last thing I mentioned is you can set clients up to do their own meal planning. So I know a lot of you I saw in the Q&A box were interested in this part. So here's how that will look. And I'm going to share another example. So let's say you have a client, Michael. Michael is on a vegan diet. He recently found out he's allergic to soy. And so he's coming to you with more support. let's say Michael's an experienced meal planner. He loves meal planning for himself and his family, and you want to put together a collection of vegan, soy-free recipes for him and let him do his own meal planning. So again, you're in the recipe gallery. You just say soy-free, vegan, see what we come up with. And then you can start adding some ideas for Michael to a collection. You would want to add maybe say 5 breakfasts, 5 lunch options, 5 snacks, 5 dinners, make a really robust collection for him. So I actually built that out in advance. So you'll see here, vegan, soy-free meal planning for Michael. And it has a bunch of different types of recipes in it. And then what I also did was I added a blank meal plan to this collection as well. So this is completely blank, and this is where Michael can do his own meal planning. Now going back to this, I'm going to share this with Michael. I'm just going to turn on sharing, turn on allow edit so that Michael can edit that blank plan and copy link. And then I could pop that into Practice Better and send it to Michael there. And when Michael opens that, he's going to see his blank meal plan on the left and all the recipes that you put together for him that are all vegan and soy-free on the right. And he can just pop into his blank meal plan and start building that out. And as he builds that out, his grocery list will automatically generate. And if you even want to turn on nutrition information for Michael, you can. So those are the 3 ways that you can kind of use that Clean Life to keep clients engaged. And the cool thing about using sharing is that you can add more recipes over time. So once you've given your client that link, you could keep them engaged by saying, hey, look, I just added 5 more vegan soy-free recipes to that collection for you for next week's meal plan. Or, hey, Anna, I just added 5 new AIP 1-pan dinners for next week, so that it really keeps them engaged over time. So I hope that gives you a good sense of how that Clean Life works and how you can use it for client engagement. Now, the last thing we need to touch on is kind of keeping clients engaged over the long term. So, you know, like I said, onboarding is exciting. And where do you go from there? How do you keep clients engaged between appointments? And there's a lot of real cool tools within Practice Better to do that. So back over to you, Brittany, to walk us through some of those.
Yeah, awesome. I know that a lot of our practitioners are working with clients kind of on a long-term basis where, again, keeping that engagement up is really important. So we talked about in kind of our initial setup slides, those small actionable goals and setting them often. So I have a couple of ideas to share with you on how you can do that with your clients. So oftentimes, of course, it's more realistic to break things down. I often will say when I'm doing these kind of webinars that you could have all of the knowledge in the world, but if you're not kind of breaking it down into bite-sized pieces for your clients and like giving them very clear direction, it can just feel so overwhelming for them, right? We often know we're like in bubbles as practitioners where we forget just how much we know. So let's look at going into one of our client records here with our demo client, Mary Smith, and we're going to look at what it looks like to set up tasks for Mary. So tasks are a way to exactly do what I just said, create a clear kind of action step or to-do list for our client so that she's taking concerted action in the step towards her goals, kind of taking those small steps that are going to lead up to big sustainable change. So you can see here that Mary has kind of lots of different examples that I have built into her client record here. So when I'm setting up these tasks, I can set them to be high priority. I can further set expectations by letting the client know exactly how long it's going to take. I can further set expectations by setting a due date if I wanted, and I can even set them to recur. So if this is something where I'm working with a client long-term and I know that they're going to have to constantly kind of complete their food journal or, look at their meal plan, maybe customize it, make those swaps as Abigail showed is possible, I can actually set up a task which is going to feel really simple to us, but is going to make a world of difference for our clients actually knowing of everything that we've shared with them, what the right next step is. So you can see that I have a whole list of different tasks here, very simple. I can also create them for myself in relation to this client. So if there's a piece of follow-up information, a question that I owe them, some kind of tweak to their meal plan that they have requested, I can actually create a task for myself as well. But when creating a task for the client, it's very simple to just name it. You can include any additional notes, set the priority, the duration to set that expectation with the client so that it doesn't feel too daunting. Maybe something that they think is going to be really arduous is only going to be like 5-10 minutes, and then it feels more achievable to them. I can set a due date, reminder, and as I said, we can set it to recur. So this is one of those ways within Practice Better that we're really mindful of your time. So if we can eliminate, the need to set that task repeatedly, weekly, or even bi-weekly, monthly for the practitioner's sake, so you can shave a couple minutes back in your day, we're going to do so. So you can actually set up those tasks to recur. And that's going to be noted by this little symbol here. So you can see that completing the food journal is an ongoing task that this client is going to experience. And as the practitioner, you get to set the frequency. So maybe that's something daily you want to remind them of, or maybe that's something weekly, monthly, even quarterly. Maybe it's something like ordering supplements, right? So you get to kind of decide here. Through here, you can always see which ones are completed. So if you want to celebrate what the client has achieved at a check-in appointment, or even through the secure chat, which we'll take a look at in a second, that's very easy to kind of look at the completed tasks so that you have something to kind of use as a conversation starter to celebrate with your client and keep them motivated with those wins. Next thing that we'll look at is the journals. So if we hop over to the journal section for Mary Smith, so Practice Better offers a journal to capture not only the food intake that a client is, consuming on a day-to-day basis, but also things like lifestyle. So sleep, movement, bowel movements, things that really are strong indicators that things are working for the client or maybe not working so well, things that are going to inform us as the practitioner on how we can engage in the client. If we're seeing that a client is not getting their daily movement in, if we're seeing that, their sleep is looking like they could use a few more hours, how we can support them going forward. So you can see just an example here with Mary Smith that she has used the free form kind of way of filling out the journals. There's many different ways that they can do this. They can kind of come up with the foods from Nutritionix. If you're working with that Cleaning Life and you have all your nutrition information from there, you can coach your clients to just use the freeform entry or even just snap a photo on their phone. So clients will have access to the Better app on their smartphone, which makes logging things in their food journals super easy. So one way of kind of working with the client to ensure that they are on the right track is setting targets. So this is going to be a way that you can engage with the client, let them know kind of what you're expecting from them, and also what is going to be the best use of their time and energy to work towards. So you can see here a few kind of basic targets that I have set for Mary Smith. So working on getting 8 hours sleep and achieving a bedtime of 10 p.m. I know for many of us, that is quite the struggle. Daily movement, water intake. So by using this red fast action button, I'll have kind of all the targets here to choose from. And you get to pick and choose the ones that resonate with your clients and leave out the ones that don't. So if you have a client that is sensitive to certain information like calories or nutrients, eating disorder clients that have any issue like that, you can kind of keep those things hidden in the journals only for practitioner view if you choose to kind of work within that scope. So clients, you can choose for them to see this. So a good way, again, to engage with them and keep them motivated within the food journals. When they do achieve those targets, you can celebrate with them. They'll see a little symbol, a little trophy, letting them know that they've actually achieved that target. So again, just a good way to boost morale with client and keep that kind of engagement level going with them. Last thing that I want to show before we kind of move on is how we're actually staying in touch with clients before we're moving, in between appointments through these long periods of time where we don't want to completely lose conversation or communication with a client so that things completely fall apart. I know as a practitioner, when I was first starting out, I definitely had that where I'd be working with clients and then we'd have a check-in appointment and they were like, oh, I didn't start my meal plan, or I didn't do anything. And we're kind of starting from scratch at this check-in appointment. And had I had better communication in those early days with clients in between sessions, I would have known that something needed tweaking. They needed some words of motivation or encouragement, or, some different, something needed to give to make it more feasible for the client. So here is an example of the secure chat. So this is a way for you to stay in communication with your client ongoing throughout their time working with you. And as the practitioner, you could create some boundaries around this communication about your turnaround time, when they can expect to hear from you, things of that nature. But this is a fantastic way of having those, really casual check-ins with the client, where they can share with you things that they're experiencing that are challenging, things that you can celebrate with them, or just questions in general. So you can see that I can send a message back. I can send PDFs. So if I wanted to update a meal plan, or even send them some bonus recipes as a little incentive for engagement and motivation, I could do that through the chat. I can also schedule messages in advance. So if this is the way that I want to check in with my clients on a weekly basis, it can be very straightforward for me to spend an hour or so on, say, a Monday morning, write up all my check-ins for my clients, schedule them so that they're going out at an appropriate time for the client in a way that makes sense for whoever you're working with. So this is all secure chat, all confidential. Our platform is HIPAA compliant, so you don't have to worry about, any kind of privacy issues. You can even hop on a video call from the chat. So it's a great way to stay in touch. We do have those instances, however, where maybe the practitioner wants a little bit more separation from the client, or some boundaries about how often a client is reaching out, the frequency, or the types of things that they are asking. So this is where I would really recommend the use of a check-in form. So we heard from some of the testimonials that Abigail shared that this is a way that other practitioners are working with their clients. So let's take a look at something like a stress check-in. So we can set this to automatically go out before one of our follow-up sessions. So we're removing that kind of manual process that's eating up our time by kind of a set it and forget it setting, where the form could go out, say, 2 to 3 days before the session. So as the practitioner, before I actually engage in that session with my client, I have a real thorough understanding of how things have progressed since the time that we got together last. So given that this is a completely customizable form builder, you can see that I have made this work where it's nice and concise. It's not going to eat up too much time for the client, but as a practitioner, I can engage with the client and really know what my next steps are and how we're going to actually interact in that next follow-up session. So we've got, the level of stress. They can list their biggest stressors. You could really make this work to whatever your niche is. So if, you're working with stress, or you're working with maybe women's health, or you're specifically working with celiac clients, whatever your niche is, you can make this reflect the types of questions that you need to learn, or information you need to gather from your clients. So then we can say here, wins from the last session, challenges, any questions that you'd like to address. So again, we can set this to go out automatically. We can set it to recur. So if this is a client that is working with me for a 4-month package, I have one kind of instance where I'm setting up that automation, and then it's taken care of for that entire 4 months. Once this form is complete, as the practitioner, I can go in and actually annotate and make notes, so that when I'm actually meeting with my client, whether that's in person, whether that's through the platform, through our telehealth feature, or even through the Zoom integration, I can pull up that completed note with my notes and actually have a very targeted conversation with my client. I know oftentimes, whether it's a discovery call, the initial, or even a follow-up, sometimes maintaining the time of that actual appointment can go askew, right? So, and then we are in this domino effect where our appointments are running behind. So I really like these check-in forms to engage with my clients, because they're going to keep the conversation very targeted, very consistent. I'm always going to be getting the right information, where I can then pull up the information and compare it. So that's another feature within Practice Better, that if, like Ashley, you really want to kind of share with the client how they progressed from that very first intake questionnaire to maybe the end of their package, you can actually use a feature in Practice Better like the form summary report, where you can select the form and actually start to get an idea of, common answers or how answers have changed over time, what things are looking like for any kind of given period of time, so that, again, you can really let the client know. I'm just going to use this as an example for a visual. Common answers are things that you're seeing most often from the client, and that's going to help shape the conversation so that you can motivate them to say how things have changed from that beginning to the end, how their answers have changed. All right, the last thing that I want to share as we wrap up this kind of Practice Better demo is protocols. So protocols are what we refer to in Practice Better as kind of the action plan, or where you're going to house recommendations for your clients going forward. So after you have that initial consultation with them and you learn all about the client, how you're actually taking that information and putting it into a plan for your client. So you can do so by coming up with a protocol template, very similar to what we saw with the note template, where you've got that framework and that structure to save you time going forward. You can later customize it to the client's needs. So here's an example for you for sleep recommendations. Maybe you have a client that is suffering from insomnia and they want to understand some lifestyle, some dietary ways to support that. So you can come up with the focus, you can set the duration. So this duration could really lend nicely into how often you're updating even their meal plan or something like that, how frequently you're going to revise this plan with their follow-ups, things of that nature. You can add some notes about what the protocol is going to involve, add any disclaimers, make those food recommendations. So this is not where you're coming up with the meal plan. This is where you can highlight certain ingredients that you're going to include in your That Clean Life meal plan, or things that you're avoiding in that Clean Life meal plan, and just give a little bit more kind of story behind that. And then you can actually include that PDF or that link that Abigail shared if you want the client to have real-time access to the meal plan where they can click and engage, and maybe a little bit easier for the practitioner that if you do make a change, they have that live time view. So again, a place for you to come up with these really targeted recommendations for the client. This is a protocol template. So if I had a client who had no problem getting to bed by 10 because they're good on that front, or maybe they're a shift worker and that's not applicable to them, I can simply just take this recommendation out. You'll see that throughout this, I can also save recommendations. So again, our whole kind of philosophy is about making things efficient and time-friendly for the practitioner. So you can see here that there are lots of ways. We've kind of just scratched the surface of ways that you can engage with your clients in Practice Better. We've really looked at some great ideas for working with your clients, often in a one-on-one kind of basis. So yeah, Abigail, I don't know if we have any questions about the platform or if we're ready to move on to sharing our offer with our attendees.
Yeah, let's share the offer and then we can loop back around with questions for a little bit. So I'm going to share my screen back with you. Okay. So I hope that gave everybody a better sense of how you can bring your client engagement strategy to life. No two practitioners' client engagement strategies are going to look the same, right? We're all going to have kind of a bit of a different approach, but using that Clean Life and Practice Better, you can kind of combine the two tools to create a client engagement strategy that's great for you. So I think we've really touched on the key benefits of having That Clean Life membership and using Practice Better. So I want to just switch back to when we said at the beginning of the class that we had some special offers for you. So I'm really excited about this. From now until September 20th, 2022, that's next Tuesday, we'd love to offer those of you who came out to today's class 20% off of That Clean Life's yearly membership. So our yearly membership is regularly $600 USD for the year, but with the 20% off, you're going to get it for just $480 for the whole year. And that works out to $40 per month over the course of a year, which is a huge saving. So no coupon code is necessary. Simply use the link that we're going to post into the Q&A box now. And you can use that link to get 20% off. And we're also going to include this link in the replay email. So we're going to send out a replay of this class so you can watch it back. And the link to get 20% off will be in there too. And again, it's going to be active until next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So I see Avita, our dietitian, thanks Avita, just pop that link into the Q&A box for us. So it's app.thatcleanlife.com. That one you see there, you can click on that and that will get 20% off. And this is available to those of you who are current monthly members and want to upgrade to our yearly membership as well. And then Brittany, over to you, because that's not it. We also have a special offer from Practice Better as well.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are intrigued by the platform and maybe want to join, we have an offer for you as well. So we are offering 30% off for your first 3 months on any paid plan for those of you that are looking to join Practice Better for the first time. So we actually have 5 different tiers of plans that you can choose from to suit your needs. So ranging in price, you can take a look to see which one resonates with you. Unfortunately, I can't add anything into the Q&A, but we will follow up in the replay email so that you have all the links that you need here. And you can do so by using the code PB30OFF. So that's going to, again, similar to what Abigail said, last until Tuesday, September 20th. You can use that coupon code. And you know what? I did see a couple of questions asking about some of the examples that I showed in the platform today. So things like the check-in form or the discovery call, note template. I'd be happy to share those as well as a thank you for joining today's webinar. So when we do send out the replay, I'll be sure to include a little code where you can actually add those into your Practice Better accounts. One thing else before we move on to questions that I do want to mention is that we recently introduced free trials. So if you would like to get an idea of what any of these plans are like, you've got 14 days that you can try any of our tiered plans before you make the decision to commit. So well worth it to give the platform a try and see some of these features that you've seen demoed today.
Okay, amazing. So I'm not sure if you can see it in the Q&A box yet. The link to get the 20% discount is there. And then for Practice Better, you just use the code PB30OFF to get that 30% off. So that is our offers for today. I hope you'll take advantage of them. Now, we'd love to stick around for about 5 minutes and answer any leftover questions. So if you can't get that link, I will be sending it out in the email right after this class, and same with the offer from Practice Better. Okay, so Brittany, why don't we take turns kind of answering questions about Practice Better and That Clean Life for the next 3-ish minutes now. Pop any questions that you have left into the Q&A box and we can get to those now. I'm just going to scroll up to see what questions I missed. Okay, so I see a lot of
questions. Oh, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, I see a lot of questions about the replay. It will be coming after today's class.
Exactly what I was going to say too.
Okay. So I see one question from Colleen here. Is Practice Better a separate platform with a separate subscription, or is it integrated to That Clean Life? So we are 2 totally different companies, 2 totally different software products. So different. We don't have a formal integration, but as I showed you, it's as easy as downloading your PDF or grabbing that link and popping it into Practice Better. Brittany, one question for you. Is the chat option available with the free Practice Better plan?
Yes, so we do have a free tier plan. It's called our Sprout plan, where you can have up to 3 client records. So most often we're recommending this plan for people like students or people who are just getting started in their business for the very first time. So you will have the secure chat in that. I do recommend that if you are interested in trying the Practice Better platform, you find the plan that has the features that resonate with you and actually trying the free trial, just because the Sprout plan, while it's there for you, it has about 80% of our features. So you won't get to kind of sample everything if you're just looking to kind of get an idea of the platform and how it works.
I saw a question about the meal planning assessment tool. So the meal planning assessment tool is available within Practice Better under their templates. And it's also available on our website at thatcleanlife.com. You can grab it from there. It's under resources. I see some questions. Is there a free trial for that? Clean Life? No, we do not offer a free trial. Lily Anna is saying, this question is for you, Brittany, I believe. I see you can use Stripe and Square for Practice Better to create invoices. Are there fees to that?
Yeah, so if you'd like to collect payment directly within the Practice Better platform, you can integrate with either Stripe or Square. So you get to decide what makes most sense for you. I'd recommend actually going to Stripe's website, Square's website to read on their fees. We personally don't charge any fees, but you'll want to look at those integration partners to understand kind of their structure. And then you can make a decision about what's kind of best for you. If you don't integrate with them, you can still kind of send invoices, mark them as paid. You just won't be able to collect payment directly within the Practice Better platform.
Amazing. Okay, so I
see
know.
one here.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to answer one last one from Colleen about healthcare professionals, or is it only for nutrition regarding Practice Better? Practice Better was, originally created by a nutritionist, but has since grown to every type of designation. We have literally like a dental hygienist who uses it with her clients. We have nurse practitioners. We have chiropractors, naturopathic doctors, nutritionists, dietitians. So we have a full kind of list of different designations who use Practice Better to run their business.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram not too long ago, you featured an esthetician, which is super cool to see, like the wide variety of wellness professionals, I guess, that use Practice Better. That's really neat. Okay, and I'm seeing a lot of questions about pricing too, like what do I charge for meal plans and what do I charge for recipe collections? We actually did a full breakdown on our blog where we took a look at over 1,000 wellness professionals and their pricing structures. We did an analysis, and you can find that at blog.thatcleanlife.com/pricing. And that'll give you a really good source of inspiration on what you can charge for programs. Okay. I think that's all the time we have for today. I know we didn't get a lot to some of your questions. If you have further questions, you're welcome to reach out to us anytime at hello@thatcleanlife.com. And Brittany, where can they get a hold of you for more questions, or your team?
Yeah, definitely. So if you want to connect with our customer success team for more questions, it's help@practicebetter.io. And you can ask them about the platform. We also have lots of different resources in our help center on our website, and then tons of videos just like this on YouTube where you can look at previous webinars to learn further about the platform.
Amazing. Okay, so let's leave it there for today. Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. Brittany, thank you for being here with me today. I love how That Clean Life works so well with Practice Better. And just remember, everybody, these bonus offers are available until next Tuesday, and we will be sending out more details about them in the replay email shortly after if you want to jump on these deals. So thank you again, everybody, and I hope to see you all real soon. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.